Welcome back. Fragile Memories is here with yet another project for you. So this time I am painting my dad's Christmas present. So I was at Walmart and, I let Mom pick out her own Christmas gift because I literally just never know what to get them anymore. Because I want to get them something they'll actually use and not just, oh, she gave me it. I don't want this. And have it sit there and do nothing, So Mom picked out hers, and I was going to let Dad pick out his, but I came across this root beer float ice cream set. And I probably wouldn't have picked it up, but the brand of root beer in it was Dad's old-fashioned root beer. And I decided that was hilarious. So $15 later, and I have these two boring cups. So I was talking to a couple of friends online, and Monster Matt was the guy who gave me the idea, or at least helped finalize the idea of this. So I've literally did the sketch. I taped it into the cup so that I could sketch on top of the cup. And I very quickly realized that it was very kind of trippy to draw like that, because the glass is so thick, it kind of made like a double, I don't know what you'd want to call that, but like a double vision kind of idea. So it was very weird, and very quickly I had decided that I was just going to use it as a guide and do my best with it. And the face, I ended up just working on off camera, because after the third attempt, I just cut all that out so that you guys wouldn't have to suffer through me just going back and forth trying to erase this thing for like an hour. I think it literally took me about an hour to get the face done. It was a little small to work with, and I think I actually took a pinpoint clay tool to painstakingly do each little part. And at one point it was like, well, this ain't good, but it's going to be good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect, just good enough. So that's where that ended up. And I never know how to cut these videos to make them more interesting. I don't want to just, alright, well, I colored the face in, snap, here's the rest of it. I colored the hat in, snap, here's the rest of it. Because I think that would be just as boring as watching, every little moment as well. So I'm going to work on figuring out kind of how I want to go about that. I'll probably watch some other videos a little more closely from YouTubers, like maybe Graveyard Loon or Mariah Elizabeth or Nerdy Crafter or something, and kind of pay more attention on how they lay out this part of their videos and take some inspiration from that. So yeah, I put a lot of thought into doing this, and I have turned these cups into the Dadscar Root Beer Float Championship Cup Race. And you see, he's out the window and his arms are up because he won. And I put a lot of more thought into, just the design of the car and the features to add. My dad always wears a watch, so he's got a watch on his wrist. And, when he's out of the house, he's always putting his hat on. So I just kind of did, a plain generic hat to match this shirt so it wasn't too busy. But yeah, how the NASCAR cups have all those sponsors on it. Oh yeah, that was me. I'm going to color in this window, and maybe that still would have been a good idea, but I thought it would be kind of cool to have some of the glass parts left open so that you could it would change color when the root beer gets put in. And I thought that would be kind of cool. But yeah, back to what I was saying. The NASCAR cups usually have sponsorships on the side. And so I put a lot of thought into those as well. My dad is addicted to coffee, and he likes the Maxwell House. So on the back corner is the Maxwell House. Then on the other side of the car, it's actually a local place. I don't know if they sell outside of my state, I guess. So I did not add that on camera, but the story with that one is we have this little ice cream burger shop in town that's only open during like the summer and early fall. And they switched owners this past year, and they stopped carrying this local brand of ice cream. They did eventually kind of put some in later on in the season. I think enough people wanted it. I mean, I definitely wanted it. Mac Fudge just isn't the same. So he wanted to go for ice cream, and Mom didn't want to go, so we actually hopped on the highway about 10 minutes, get to the next town over to that little ice cream shop because they had this brand of ice cream. And on the way, the conversation went a little something like this. So, the new brand of ice cream at the ice cream shop here in town, that's pretty ucky, right? And I respond with, well, I don't know about ucky, but disappointing. He goes, disappointing is ucky. And I don't know, that was hilarious to me. So I kind of felt like I had to add this brand in. And then the big one in the middle is actually the last name of his boss. Well, also the company name. Because most weekends he'll work in the woods with this company. And again, for obvious reasons, I did not want to add that on camera. But it's on there in the final cut. And the car is 2 shades of blue because he likes blue. And I kind of thought he would like the flames on the car. So there's no real story with that one. I just thought he would like it. And I did add some purple into the name because I like purple, so of course I'm going to add purple where I can. That's just how it's going to be. Yeah, overall, this was an interesting project. Like, I would say the base layer was the easiest, but also, like, where it was thinnest, when it catches the light, it still shows through. Despite looking at it straight on, it looks solid. So I don't know what I could have done differently with that. I did bake it in between each layer. So, like, I did the first layer, of colors. And then I put it in the oven and I baked it. Because Google said that was a good idea. So what you do with that is, at least according to what I found on Google, is I put it in the oven. And then I closed it and I preheated it while the glass was in there. Because otherwise it would, warm up too quickly and break. So 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. Shut it off. And then just crack the oven door open and let it sit for another little while, like 30 minutes or something. So that's what I did with each of the firing processes. It's kind of like having a home kiln, I guess. I've never, operated the kiln, but I've had projects fired in a kiln for classes and stuff, and yeah, that was pretty fun. And I definitely would do that again if given the chance. Just because I like to try different art things anyway. So stuff like that's kind of right up my alley. But eventually with this channel, I have a couple ideas that I want to do. I don't know if I should implement them now because my viewer base is so small. And I'll get a comment or two here and there. Much appreciated. Thank you guys. But, I kind of want the one idea to be a bit more of, a community effort. So I'd like to build up a bit more of a community before I do that idea. And, I don't know, maybe I'm just marketing wrong. I probably am. But also, to improve the quality of my setup would definitely be helpful. So I did kind of mark on my table with some tape where the frame of the camera would be, so hopefully I can stop leaving frame because, well, that's been a big issue I've noticed. I've cut out parts just because there's a minute or two where I'm just not even in frame. I gotta say, guys, adjusting to doing art on camera versus just doing art period, it's different. will eventually remember to stay in frame, maybe. But for right now, with my setup, I feel like it's best and easiest to just do like the coloring process on camera, because I just think that my sketch probably wouldn't show up unless I angled it differently, and I'm not quite sure how to do that yet. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, what your ideas are. Because I'm open to suggestions, like, I want to make something work. And hopefully the people who are viewing are still enjoying the projects. There's definitely more to come. I've got more ideas than I know what to do with. Yeah, I think that's a fairly common problem for most artists, unless they hit an art block, which really sucks. I've learned that when there's like too much negativity going on in my life, that really affects my ability to and will to do art. So like, come spring cleaning at my job, that's gonna be crazy nuts, and I'm probably gonna have a hard time finishing anything major, let alone something minor. But we'll see how that goes. I think I'm on like the 4th straight week of getting a video out on Tuesday. I'll have to look back and see what videos I've done, because I've kind of already forgotten. It's definitely been an adjustment working with a schedule like that, but I've so far kept up with it, so let's just see how it goes. Alright, so this is the championship cup, like the trophy cup that he would win. I suppose I could have zoomed in a little bit more. Notes for next time. And here comes the technically final that I'm going to post online, but not quite final version of Dadscar. Look, Dad's Christmas present this year was, oh, that's hilarious, let's do it. Like, literally all it was. But, yeah, I don't know if he will like it, but I'm going to put a coat of Mod Podge or something over the paint, because I wanted these to be washable, and the firing, I just don't think quite did the job, because it still seems to rub off easily. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and bye-bye!